The first known attempt of a cannonball in 23 years happened on April 1st, 2006. Two drivers in a BMW M5 planned to leave New York City at 9:30 p.m., driving as fast as they could, and only stopping for gas, with the aim of reaching California in less than 32 hours and 7 minutes. And I was going with them. But before I can tell you about this run, I first need to take you back to the beginning. And for me, this story begins in 1983. That's when my dad's best friend, Doug Turner, raced in the very last cannonball and set the record for the fastest time from coast to coast.
Well, it's hardly an event sanctioned by police, but even a cop would admit it stirs the imagination a bit. A cross-country race to see who can make it from coast to coast the fastest.
Cannonball started back in 1971. That was Brock Yates' idea. He was part of a group of journalists all of a sudden blossomed in the mid-'60s when they came to the magazine Car and Driver. They brought to life the car culture that's been in the United States forever. No one's just ever reported on it. In the 70s, you still had the counterculture mindset carrying over from the 60s.
Those were days of revolution and kind of thumbing your nose at the authorities.
And Yates, by his own admission, was making a social statement. Driving in America is ridiculous. We've got these big, monstrous, open highways, and good drivers should be able to run at a high speed.
For more than 2 years now, people have been trying to get you to slow down to 55 miles an hour, down to the speed limit. They've told you slowing down will save millions of gallons of gasoline. Slowing down will save thousands of lives. The 55-mile-an-hour speed limit can do a lot of positive things, and it's my job to make sure it gets a chance to work. Not just because it's a good idea, but because it's the law.
I had no respect for the 55-mile-an-hour limit, and I took great delight in breaking the limit, I can assure you.
You have to understand that 55 miles an hour was an incredible imposition to the driving public. And most of us felt that we were going to speed anyway. Screw them.
The Cannonball Baker Sea to Shining Sea Memorial Trophy Dash ran 5 times between 1971 and 1979. The very last year in 1979 was reported to be the sort of craziest. There were 2,000 people at the start with brass bands and cheerleaders, and 47 teams entered the race that year, which is a lot.
The 79 thing was so commercial. They had created a party, they had done all sorts of falderall that if I was doing a criminal enterprise, I probably wouldn't tell people in advance anywhere what we were going to do. You have 47 cars driving down the freeway. Hello, about the, 15th or 20th, somebody's going to call the cops.
I believe Brock Yates was a little nervous about doing this thing out in public. I mean, he had already organized it. Now he had a tiger by the tail.
Yates was under contract with a movie company not to do another Cannonball. And there were some people who wanted to do one again.
When
in 1980, enough drivers who had run in the Cannonball got together with me. And while we were hoping there might be some better form of Cannonball evolving, nothing happened. So we found ourselves getting together in person in different road rallies. And, well, could somebody run this? And nobody's hands went up, except my thinking, well, I could help organize it.
Before we hand out all the material here and draw lots for starting, are there any other questions right now about the running of this or the time? Yeah, we had discussed for you for that.
My father has to get the credit for saying, well, you're running across the U.S., why don't you call it the U.S. Express? I ran an ad in a very popular magazine then and now, Auto Week, and I started getting dozens and dozens of letters.
What really set the U.S. Express apart from the Cannonball is that U.S. Express was really interested in one thing, finding the best drivers who were going to make the best effort to get the best speed and do it in a way that was safe and efficient.
These people were dead serious. This was pure competitive mentality. We've got to be first. We've got to be the fastest there's ever been, and we will do whatever it takes.
Entry fee was $500. It was a check to the American Cancer Society, and it said, you run at your own risk.
All of the participants of this event over the years can be very proud of its accident-free record. But I think one of the things that's attributable to that record is the very careful selection process that they went through to make sure that they were only selecting qualified drivers.
That atmosphere of responsibility is what really separated the people that eventually made the cut.
It was invitation only, secret starting point, secret finishing point, moves each year.
If one person leaked the information, he'd compromise the event.
The last thing you want to do is publicize it. There's 30-odd cars going out at 100+ miles an hour from New York.
Looking back on it, it always felt like a dream. Even after I'd finished it, the day after I'd finished doing this race, it felt like a dream to me.
My co-driver from the first year also bought his first Apple II computer from me, and that's Will Wright, who went on to form Maxis Software and The Sims.
We probably had about 400 pounds of weird devices in that car. Like a refrigerator, 2 radar detectors, police scanners, CB, night vision scopes. I mean, just about anything you can imagine, Rick wanted to bring.
As I recall, Will and I gave our trophy to the 2 women from Texas who had driven their Mercedes 6.9 and done a staggering speed record, which beat most of the Cannonball records at that time.
If anybody, they didn't expect to see us, which made it even better.
I felt so good about the times we had done, and we realized this is not going to be a one-shot event. Got to do it again.
81 is the year of the snow.
The first time in 70-something years, they closed Donna's Pass.
I think we went out about 7th or 8th that year. For whatever reason it was, I packed chains in that car.
They all got stopped by the highway patrol. They couldn't go over the mountain. We did.
Steve Klausman is most surprised at finishing first.
We figured somewhere along the line we'd run into somebody, but we never did.
This is not only a race of time, but a race of strategy, preparedness.
82 was an entirely different experience. There was virtually no state that we went through that the Highway Patrol didn't know we were coming through.
Until the movie came out, it was a non-event for everybody else.
All of a sudden you started hearing on the Citizen Band radio, wow, could be a Cannonball going through here.
That sucker can run 200 miles an hour, but it sure as hell can't outrun a Motorola radio wave.
It's a tough job driving a truck around, and when they see some smart-ass Ferrari go blasting by them doing 140 miles an hour, I think it bothers them. The truckers do a lot of chatting, and the police listen to the truckers. That's a way that they find out what's going on.
I remember listening, and a guy came on the CB. He said it was the New Mexico State Police. They said, I know what you guys are doing, so if you don't slow down and stop for our roadblock, I'm warning you now, we will shoot you. That's what they said.
Officer comes to my car, says, hello, Mr. Quadier. And you're in shock. He had all of our names. He had the cars we were driving. He had our tags. He didn't have me for safety violations. I didn't even cross a dotted white line. Nothing. And you heard over the radio, we want them all arrested now.
The trooper came up to me, and he actually was about to take his badge off, and he said, I'm going to take you into the woods, and only one of us is going to come out alive.
The risk-reward ratio was becoming unbalanced with the popularity.
We weren't sure about 83. We debated it, but when they decided to make the 83 run to Los Angeles, we sort of said, okay, this is our backyard. You know, we're going to do it.
Hi, I'm Michaeline Donati, and we're here today. Start over. We're at the starting point of the U.S. Express, one of the most daring races in the United States. Hi, what's your name?
David Dean.
And where are you from?
Newport Beach, California.
Do you want to win?
Absolutely. That's why we're here.
What's your name?
Doug Turner.
And are you part of the same team, or are you different?
Certainly am.
Okay.
Same team.
There we are.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Another day at another race somewhere.
Doug and Loretta Turner have always been like family to me. But my memories of spending time with them are mainly around cars and racing.
A lot of my extracurricular activities over the years have had to do with cars.
Racing to me is a passion and has been for most of my life. The elements of mastering the machine, the competition with other people on the course, having to compete with someone one-on-one through the media of a mechanical device is very exhilarating.
Because of Doug's racing experience, it didn't surprise me when I found out that he raced in a Cannonball. What surprised me was that this event really existed.
Can you tell me, what kind of car do you have?
We're driving a 308 Ferrari.
Anything special about it you want to tell the people that you've been working on? Everything.
Just the stock 308.
First thing we did is we got a fuel cell, which we put in this very small trunk area of the car, which doubled the fuel capacity of the car. And we knew that 2/3 of the race was at night, so we got 4 10-inch Hellos and mounted them under the front bumper, so we could light up almost a mile of road, at night. CB radio, digital police scanner with a computerized list of about 5,000 police frequencies for the country that we programmed in going into each state. A radar detector forward and back. We built some cockpit switches so we turn the tail lights off, turn the brake lights off. Mobile bathroom device that we decided was useless.
We just knew we were by far the best prepared of anybody there, and we'd done it. We had experience. We'd covered all the bases.
You think you're going to win?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
There was no monetary prize in this race, and it was extremely dangerous and illegal.
I'm going to put us on channel whatever it is news tonight. Wait till the end of the race. See ya.
So when I went out to find the other drivers from that very last year in 1983, I fully expected to meet the real-life Steve McQueens.
We came out right here on the street in New York, and this is, what's the name of the street here?
90th.
90th Street. I remember this start. It was like, wow, this is it, huh? This old nondescript building, this old nondescript garage. How cool is this? No, but of course nobody knows about this thing. Yeah. Of course nobody's going to believe this.
I'm from Waterloo, Iowa.
And I'm from Waterloo, Iowa. I'm from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Oh, my goodness.
All I know is I got a phone call. Said, you want to run the Cannonball? I said, absolutely. Wait, I better check with Nancy.
There is something more exciting than sex, and that's going fast.
How come you entered the race? The excitement, an adventure.
Everybody wanted to do this. All my friends wanted to do it. But who you did it with, you're putting your life in their hands, so they better be a good driver.
You look at a 260Z and he's got his girlfriend with him, he's not going to win the race. He's probably going to have more fun than we are, but he's not winning anything. Sure, she was cute.
My name is Larry Wilson.
I didn't have a clue who this guy was.
I write books on antique firearms and engraving.
I was going through a pretty miserable divorce.
I'm a physician.
Physician.
But he was an interesting guy. He was all up for the race. He was all excited about it. He had done long-distance driving.
I wasn't trying to maybe make friends of everybody that was in the race. I was so concentrating on what we were doing that's all I could think about.
Why are you guys doing it? Why? Just for the hell of it. Just for the hell of it. Just for the hell of it.
Well, I'm crazy. I don't know what his excuse is.
You have any final words?
Just wish me luck, man.
That's the best luck in the world.
The hardest part was convincing my mother they were going to make it alive. My father said she never put down the rosaries from the day we left.
I didn't really have anybody talking sense to me at that point in time, so
Everyone is taking insurance policies out on us. And if we make it on Monday, they're going to cancel the checks because they took them out on Friday. We're 30. If we don't do it now, we're never going to do it.
It's the first time in the race?
No, my fourth.
Your fourth?
It was always long distance stuff I got involved in. I don't know why. Some part of my brain says I got to go 1,000 miles to do something right.
Are you going to win?
Oh, of course.
Where are our drivers? Can I see some hands? Drivers? Are we here? Are we not? Where are we?
Starting garage was mostly a matter of stealth, wherever possible. You're kind of feeling like it's a space mission. Your heart is pounding. You're looking at each other. You're looking at the clock.
Stay clear.
20 seconds.
Says there's a cop downstairs, so take it easy.
People are coming up. Get out of the way quickly. We're coming down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They punched a time clock and handed it to you, and you literally made the right-hand turn, drove down the garage, and out into the dark world on the way to California.
Once these couple of dozen cars spurted west, we were all part of the same package, and yet we were all out to win. It was pure adrenaline that started from the moment of the very first car going to the end of the race. It didn't stop a moment in between.
There's something about getting into a car, and the minute you know you're in a race, you're in a race. And you don't care what happens after that.
I ran a Porsche 928. It was a wonderful street car. I think it's one of the best Porsches ever made. The only problem with the car is it had limited fuel economy. So we decided to solve that problem by putting a fuel cell in the back of the car, which was basically like sitting in a time bomb. But what it allowed us to do, we calculated, was to do a cross-country run with only 2 stops.
Right beside the door. To your left.
And when we pulled into Newport, we found that we were really in second place. And they won. We came in second.
32 hours and 7 minutes, a new record. In a Ferrari 308 that came flying in here like it was a plane last night. Dave Diem and Doug Turner.
It was no problem. We set the cruise control at 89.5 when we left New York, punched the button, and just hung on.
These two gentlemen were certainly vulnerable all the way across the country, but they made it through. 2 madcap drivers, Doug Turner and partner David Diem, crossed the Newport Beach finish line early today in the 4th annual U.S. Express, formerly known as the Cannonball Run.
To go from New York to California in 32 hours, it's unbelievable.
They obviously busted their tails. They did something really extraordinary.
34 hours might have been some phenomenal record, and to do 32 hours when we got there, said, wow, that is phenomenal.
We ran last year and we placed 3rd, and we wanted to crack at beating the record.
Yep. Okay, how does it feel now that you've done it?
Great.
They came in 32. That's fine. That's what they came up with. Bottom line is they didn't win. And to tell you the truth, I really felt like punching the guy's lights out because I knew they were lying.
I remember Steve sitting down, staring at each other, and saying to ourselves, if they had an improvement to make on this race, they should have written down everybody's serial number when they left and everybody's serial number when they arrived.
There were members who'd been involved with the race for more than 1 year who thought that Dave and Doug had such an amazing time. They must have gotten onto an airplane or something, because there have been some movie spoofs done and things. You start the race in New Jersey, get on a plane, get off Nevada, and finish the distance.
I was shocked because I know what speeds we were going. And I mean, come on. It was crazy. But there's this red Ferrari. Everybody in a nice red jacket and clean shaven. and a clean car. I mean, we look like shit.
Car was filthy.
The car was filthy, exactly. They didn't look at the car.
I think we got photos of it afterwards to
Yeah,
the interior and
we have-
exterior to show you how disheveled it really
We
was.
have photos.
You were there for the finish.
I was there for the finish. What did Doug and Dave average? 2,700 miles at 89 miles an hour. Do you know how fast you have to go to average 89 miles an hour? I mean, that includes gas stops, whatever. You slow down and you speed back up.
We had 3 speeds. You know, it was maximum speed, 55 miles an hour, which was the speed limit when that was necessary, and stopped for the 5 times that we stopped for fuel, and 6 times because we got the ticket.
The first time, we just didn't realize how fast you had to drive. And you had to drive as fast as you could every time you had an opportunity to drive fast.
We ran last year and figured out how to do it, and came back this year prepared to win.
Yeah. So how many people think we cheated?
6 fuel stops, 1 ticket, 7 stops. We made 2. We both
It's
look at each
impossible.
other and say it's not possible.
It's impossible.
Okay, let's go back to the original Cannonball, 1971. You have Dan Gurney, probably one of the greatest American, 2 or 3 greatest American race drivers there ever was, driving a Ferrari Daytona. It's a 175 mile an hour car. They got to Portofino, Redondo Beach in something like 36 hours. This is one of the world's best drivers. Doug Turner and David Diem, neither one of them is going to be anywhere in the caliber of a Dan Gurney. So you take 2 average Joes in a slower car who take 3 hours off of Dan Gurney's time. How did they do that?
As an experienced internal combustion engine technician myself, I don't see the possibility of improving a 308 engine to the extent where it would perform to climb those mountains and cover that distance in that period of time. It just doesn't seem possible.
I completely understand why the other drivers had their doubts about that time. I mean, even I thought it was an impossible time. But I knew something that they didn't. I knew Doug my entire life, and there's no way he would have cheated. But unfortunately, within a few months of my last interview with him, Doug suddenly passed away from cancer. And 32 hours and 7 minutes took on a whole new meaning for me. It was no longer just something that I wanted to share. It was something that I now needed to prove. A lot had changed since that last US Express in 1983. But the distance between New York and California hadn't. There was only one way to prove that 32 hours and 7 minutes was possible. All I needed was a driver.
Wow, that's really something good.
I talked with my dad when I was a kid all about like the Cannonball and things like that, and we would laugh about it. And after he died, I kind of thought I wanted to do something that he'd never done. And the Cannonball didn't exist; it had ended in '79. And I'd heard there were other races in the '80s, but there was no information about them. But this thing called Gumball existed, starting in '99, and it seemed to be like the Cannonball. And so I signed up for the Gumball. And I went, and it turned out that it wasn't at all like the Cannonball races. It was 5 days cross country, 1,000 miles a day, and there was a party every night, and you go to a hotel. 95 guys were there for fun, to party. And then it turned out there were 5 guys who were serious.
Are we first? Did we beat Policia? Kick ass! Woo! Fucking I am number fucking 1.
Being in a lot of rallies with Alex Roy, I've been to his house. He's a great guy. He's one of my favorite rally drivers to drive with. He's a lot of fun. I remember in a drunken stupor at his house, there was some type of bet about whether 3207 could be beaten, and I said, yeah, I can.
I've driven a lot with Alex. I don't know how much you've driven with him as far as just, you know, when
well, y'all usually back there.
He is a very good driver. He is a good driver.
Phenomenal driver.
He's a real good driver, and I trust his driving abilities.
There is a level of competition that is real amongst the drivers. When you get into an event, you want to beat the other guy. That's the bottom line. You know, that's why you're doing it. Not to be bad on Polizei, but the bottom line is I've been in a lot of rallies with Alex Roy, and Alex Roy has never beat me in a rally yet.
I did 4 or 5 more gumballs after that, looking, always hoping and thinking that there would be more, that there was some like a secret society of guys who'd invite you to do like the Cannonball or something like it, but there wasn't. And then, of course, I met you and learned about the U.S. Express and the races in the 80s. And once I learned that ended in 83, and I kind of surveyed the other drivers I met on Gumball, realized there was nothing going on anymore. There really wasn't. But that everything I learned on Gumball, all the equipment I put on this car, was exactly what would be necessary to try to go cross country, to try to break 3207.
Let me point something out to you, though, that's very important, okay? They may hold a record, they can put it in the Guinness Book of Records, and I'll guarantee you that no one will ever beat that record again, and I'll tell you why, okay? You cannot compare the traffic conditions of when it was at those days as it is now. There are too many people on the road to be able to even think that you can accomplish that without a police escort.
The New York to LA is the holy grail of rally.
Correct.
If you can do that and beat the record, you have accomplished something.
What would you say to people that are considering running a race like this? And is it worth it?
Well, it's worth it. Definitely worth it. Yeah. Just keep a watchful eye and
go fast.
Drive fast. That's it.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Someone is going to break 3207 someday. And, you know, I would love to know if there's someone else out there who's actually thinking about it as hard as I am, because I have every intention of breaking it someday. But first, we have to figure out if what Dean Turner said is true about how they did it. And I don't think it is true. I think they did 3207, but I don't think they did it the way they said they did. My theory about Dean Turner is that the fuel economy figures for their car and their fuel cell don't match up with 5.5 fuel stops using a 140-55-0 strategy. My theory is that they were cruising in the high 90s pretty much the whole time. The speed strategy it sounds sexier, but that's not what this is about. Dean Turner did it, I think, 2 or 3 times before they set 3207. So, and I've never done it. Anyone who gets in a car unprepared, tries to do this, is out of their minds. I wouldn't expect to beat them unless I'd done it at least twice.
Dean Turner did it once. Did it in 1982, came in 3rd. Got in the car the next year and did it.
Well, God bless those motherfuckers. What's these? What's that?
Dead reckoning cable, antennas.
These are the only guys I trust to work on my car. This car has been to hell and back. You know, Gumball, Bull Run, Morocco, Eastern Europe. It's been, and it should, at this point, have caught fire and exploded many times over, and it's still here. You know, a good mechanic is kind of like a priest. You're putting your faith in his interpretation of the iron laws of physics and science. A car has a soul. If you respect it, the karma comes back to you. What religion I've learned in my life, I felt, has come because of driving. True.
The thing about driving and racing is the fact that you've got this incredible kind of interface between a person and a machine. And, a lot of times we clearly put this boundary around us. This is me, and these are my tools, my technologies, my machines. But when you're driving or racing especially, that boundary blurs, and you become one. You start thinking about your body entirely, and you think of the car as your body. If you have an accident, you don't say, "Oh, my car, I hit something with my car." You say, "I hit something," because the car, in some senses, become your body.
It's like seeing an old friend that I've missed for so long.
I was always fascinated by the ability of the human mind to kind of mesh with machine like that, to that level, and achieve that level of kind of almost transparent, unconscious interface.
Looks really good, Corey. Yeah. How psyched are you? How psyched are you? Oh my God, this is really badass.
I had no idea when I started doing this that I'd ever get to go on it.
Well, you deserve to.
It's funny, I did not feel like I deserved to go on this run. In fact, I felt pretty much way out of my league. I was going to be in the back seat of this M5 at 130 miles per hour, running 6 cameras, a sound mixer, and 4 recording devices. I knew that I had a very special opportunity to take the most amazing ride. I just hoped I didn't get car sick.
Let me ask you this question. You're familiar with what these guys did?
Yeah.
32 hours, 7 minutes. They claim they did 140 miles an hour the whole way. Then 55 if they saw a cop. And other than that, they only stopped for gas, which averages out to 89 miles an hour.
Okay.
Do you think they're telling the truth?
No. Because I don't see how a car could go that fast for that time. You're just sucking gas down so fast, I just don't see it.
What about military aircraft refueling? You have
nozzle.
Money, no object.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Oh boy, the most challenging thing?
Alex?
Alex, yeah. It's gotta be Alex.
You have an arm that comes out, you pull up alongside a truck, you match speeds.
I don't think so.
If you did that and the high-speed option, if it works, you can save a lot of time. But if it doesn't work,
you know what though?
A cloud of fire.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't know if some of what he's asking is whimsical or necessary, but it gets sorted out.
You'd have to get together a sick bunch of people to pull that one off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much will it cost me? Here, I'll talk you through the systems. You'll find it, Geekathon Entertainment. The car is a 2000 BMW M5. Mechanically, there's very little has been done. There's a chip to remove the speed limiter. Kelliner's exhaust. A racing clutch and flywheel. Brembo GT brake kit. On all 4 points. There's an additional 16-gallon fuel cell. Active laser jammers. Rear laser jammer. A Garmin 2730 with XM radio nav traffic and weather. A Garmin 2650, which uses a speedometer and a backup navigation system. A Uniden 796 digital trunk tracking scanner. A Uniden BCT8 analog scanner. A Uniden BC396 digital handheld scanner, which is the primary scanner for this drive. 2 scanner antennas and a CB antenna on the rear trunk. Uniden Pro 520 XL CB built in.
It's like a rainforest in here.
Speaker up here. A Valentine 1 radar detector. An L3 night vision system, which is actually a thermal camera mounted in the grille, connected to an Alpine display in car for nighttime cruising. And a Whelen siren and PA control system with Whelen red, white, yellow, green strobes front and back.
What will you do with this information?
All right, so we're driving, and you hear it blue vehicle westbound 70, mile marker 226, dispatch, and it's dispatch confirm, vector car 212.
Right.
And so then you have a very rapid decision to make, which is get off the road, make a run for it, or slow down and hide among a clump of cars. Right. We're doing 2/3 of the trip at night, which is, depending on who you ask, a pro and a con. The pro is, fewer people out. The con is less that one cop sitting alone with no other traffic around, just waiting for you.
Right.
He's been waiting for you his whole life. Yeah, he's been waiting for me his whole life, and he's out there. And I don't want to meet him this weekend. Let's go get cigarettes and coffee. It's my last chance.
I'll go with you.
All right.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, I mean, I was getting the heebie-jeebies until about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You hear that he made out his will. What that means is that you're prepared to die to do this. Anytime someone is willing to die to do something, I want to know why.
I'm going to say it again and again.
Don't give me that same bullshit answer.
It's the truth.
Third time.
All right, let me ask you a question. Josh
That doesn't
Shank,
answer anything.
genius, intellectual, American, it is unbelievable. Josh, the real reason? To impress my dead father. It's the truth. That's the final answer. It's the final answer. You know, we lost our fathers around the same time, and you know, when a man loses his father, he loses the one person that could really kind of tell him what he had to do. And we all have to accomplish something we're proud of. We all fight our own battles. This is mine.
Would your father be impressed if you broke the record?
No, outraged. No, that's kind of the irony of it. Is that he'd be like, you know, what are you doing? This makes no sense. You should be having children and making a life. When I called you the first time, did you decide instantly that you would go on the 3207 run with me? I mean, did you know right away that you were going to do it? Yeah, of course. Without there's no hesitation in your mind. No, after Gumball, it was clear to me that, you know, that there was a thing between us and that we were safe in the car and that we made sense together in the car. I'm still trying to figure out who the safe one is. In the front, for reference sake, is the reckless endangerment laws for every state in the United States. California is the most lenient state in the union. God bless them. North of 100 is reckless endangerment. You never want to be going north of 100 or get nicked for it in any of these states, especially these truly conservative states, because they will take you down to the precinct. So you're talking about, you know, going to jail or getting accused of a felony. 37.4, police mobile unit. That's a police car in the borough of Allendale. Our route is in yellow, Allendale is here. Therefore, that frequency is not for us. This must be done 1,000 times. Ohio Turnpike, most heavily patrolled highway in the United States. Truckers call it Radar Alley. You know, of course, the danger is if we put every speed trap from speedtrap.org into the GPS and we slow for every single one and there's no cop at some of those, we lose time.
You tell them that from St. Louis.
Yeah. And these guys are going to be coming in on Route 40.
What do you hear about the weather?
Well, that's a problem.
Where's the other chart?
We want you to go as fast as possible. The 140 plus would be a good cruising speed. You'll have to. Yeah, look, there's the wide mouth.
Press plastic collar firmly onto body, high end in front. Urinate or vomit directly into the bag.
Or both.
Wait until liquid turns into biodegradable gel. Dispose of the bag in a waste receptacle.
This is the best.
And that's the international symbol for the whole family's got to go.
I scoured the internet looking for in-car urination solutions for females. I located this solution, which I sent to Alex. It appears to be like a piggy bank, too. You can put like coins into it. The first thing we say about Dean Turner is, you know, congratulations. Those guys really, I mean, really did something extraordinary. Just the 308 alone is big balls. I think that those guys experienced an extraordinary stroke of luck, and I'm hoping that Alex and I experience that as well.
The first question is, why are they doing this?
Did you get tickets? Because we got 2 warnings.
5 tickets
Oh, 5
and
tickets.
2 warnings.
That's
yeah.
okay.
It takes a lot to win, you know?
It
Sometimes you gotta sacrifice your honor.
Both our names and cell phone numbers right now on a piece of paper to Steve Stander. We have a PBA card.
The starting garage was super intense for me. I had done a lot of research over 4 or 5 years on this race. You're not coming through much. Somewhere along the way, you know, I really wanted to go. And I never thought that that was going to happen.
This is sitting in front of this laser jammer. We're leaving in like 2 minutes.
I just remember thinking how amazing it was that I was doing the same thing that Doug had done all those years ago.
Time check. Who's got the card and the time clock? Okay. How do I put this thing in? Anywhere?
Does it matter?
Do it, man.
Go!
9:40 p.m. by the Holland Tunnel in New York City. They got about 2,900 miles ahead of them. That's a long way. That's quite a way.
I can't believe what we went through the last 24, 36 hours. Amazing.
I wish them luck. This type of thing makes the 24 hours of Le Mans look like a Boy Scout outing. There is 18,700 somewhat law enforcement agencies around the United States, and knowingly they're going to break the law at times, but they'll probably pay the dues for that.
The world has changed. So again, cautionary note to anybody else who decides to do this, be careful. It's a different world.
We're getting into the proper cruising range. We're at 92.
That's us.
Windows up. Tail lights up.
The vehicle's westbound, should be approaching 106, 107 now.
Cigarette out. This is a scanner report of a BMW at high rate of speed.
I think the speed limit is 65.
So we're gonna set it for 75. Wonder who called it in. All right, I want to try, how far can we drive before we're out of Pennsylvania, John?
I think it's pretty far. 29 miles on 70.
And then?
29 miles to the 70 west exit. I think that's where the state line is, I'm not sure.
All right, fuck.
We took a racer's approach. A racer's approach is you go as fast as you can, every moment you can, period. When you first pick up speed and you get up to 143 miles an hour, it seems really fast, but your mind does adapt to that speed.
There's a sense of time travel, so that if somebody talks about us on a Citizens Band radio, in 4 minutes, we're out of their radio range. The difference in speed is that great.
On a straight road with no other traffic around us, it was quite pleasing to go 3 times the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit.
But unlike racing, where you're on a closed track, the only other cars on the track are other experienced drivers. You know, driving that speed on the highway takes a lot more concentration because everything else out on the highway is foreign.
On those roads, 4-lane roads, two lanes the same direction, going 120, is petrifying. The trucks, the cars, the unknowns in the road, everything has to be perfect. And you can't plan perfect.
Coming after us? No. Woo! Well, we escaped and we made some nice time. We built up some credit.
Amazing job in Pennsylvania, by the way.
Thank you. I think the key is you got to build credit, but then if you got to slow down, you keep a speed above the average required, so you never lose your credit. And if you do lose your credit, then you build it anywhere you can, like right here. And then after that, it's up to fate and weather. Too tight.
Too tight.
No, we can make it.
You want to try and flash people out of the left more than these right-hand side heroics.
Okay.
fuel stop within 5 to 8 minutes. John, are you feeling ready to drive?
Even when you stop to get gas, I mean, it is really like a fire drill. You don't want to waste a single second.
Well, 5 minutes, 20 seconds, code 540. Reset the center odometer. I got it. Easy. We are exactly on schedule for 31:48 arrival time. I got the ramp. It's all clear. See, this is a great time for the center, the thermals for the center, because you can see that there's no one in the center. It's dark, but when you look at the thermals, there's nothing there. What would you think you would see? An idling engine, white, because the cop car's going to sit with his engine idling. It's just a car sitting. Yeah. Look at the center. We can't see. Look at that screen. You can see. Is there anything in the center? No.
I didn't know about the white idling engine part.
Heat is white. Look at all those white things you see is exhaust. Eastbound. Let me get a bear check. 104. 10-4, it's clear all the way back to the state line. 104. 104. Sunrise.
Alex, can you check out the sky behind you?
I know, it's beautiful color. Wow. It is beautiful. Almost as beautiful as seeing those 3 antennas off the back of the car.
When we crossed the Mississippi, it was the most glorious morning. I truly remember how fortunate I was, just to cross that river at that time.
It felt quite surreal. Got it up to maybe 160, 165. Triple the speed limit, so you smile and you see that sun coming up. It was gorgeous.
If you didn't make enough headway in the night, you're now emerging into daylight. Sunday, Columbus Day weekend, which again we had researched to be one of the quietest periods on the interstate. So the roads were much emptier than usual. But you're into enforcement. You're into 8 a.m. law enforcement suddenly coming on the road and being hungry.
What's just pulled out, Alex?
Where?
Right in front of me. Civilian?
That truck on the right? Yes.
Okay. See what's pulled over. He just pulled out.
When that sun comes up in the morning, on Sunday morning, you start to feel very vulnerable, particularly in a red car doing that kind of speed.
Oh yeah, daylight was really tough. I'm sure you didn't do that 143, 55 and 0 daytime.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. How many tickets that year?
Well, we only got one, and it was on Ohio. But the thing we've never told you, Rick.
Yeah.
In '83, we hired a Turbo 210 from California that met us in St. Louis.
Oh.
And the only problem is when we got to St. Louis, it was overcast.
Oh shit.
So all of Missouri and all of Oklahoma, we were blind because it was overcast. But fortunately, when we broke out of the overcast, somewhere around the Oklahoma-Texas border, we had a Cessna Turbo 210 that sat there about 500 feet off the deck for us all day long.
Wow.
A plane flying over the highway and spotting cops for you? That's pure bullshit. Period.
Turn off your machine. Turn it off. And of all the preparation and all the stories we had heard about all the different tools and all the different approaches that everyone had taken over the years, it was the one tool that we hadn't heard anybody had thought to deploy.
As a spotter. That's very clever.
These are the guys in first place? Good for you, man. Hey, I never even thought of that.
I have to admit, it was pretty cool. There was nothing in the books about that.
If we thought of it, maybe we would have done that. Who knows?
There they are. We have you in sight. We're overhead. Fly between 1/2 and 1 mile ahead and let Ali Ray do his thing.
We got nothing in sight right now.
Copy that.
Now this is exciting.
Great. I don't know. Punch it, Chewie.
You're booking, baby. I see you. You're all clear for 1 more mile.
But we have one advantage over Dean Turner's air unit, is that it's being crewed by people who are as close to us, to me, as family. And they will look out for us in a way that no paid pilot ever will.
Do you guys want to have a couple of travel Johns for the plane?
A couple?
This is the craziest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
You guys are all clear. Way out.
Ask Paul if there's any cops in the toll booths. Oswald, you see any fuzz at the toll booth coming up?
Very limited traffic at the toll plaza. I'd say 2 cars, 3 cars deep.
No cops?
Nope.
Thank you. Wow, this is fantastic. This other plane.
Sorry? Here. How much is it?
$3.50.
Hello. Thank you.
Are there a lot of police up here? Thanks. Have a nice day.
Sorry. All right. Car's having a problem, huh?
You through the tolls?
Yeah, we're through the toll. Car's really not so good.
Yeah, I see you slow. You're pulling over altogether now, I see.
I pulled over, I'm sitting here, engine off. What do you recommend?
Thanks, mate.
Okay, bye. He's calling Mark. He's going to call me back in any minute. Hopefully it's a computer issue. If it's mechanical, we are fucked. But if it's computer...
That seemed computer.
It was the same thing that happened last time, and it was mechanical this time. Dude, I've run this car in Gumball 160, for, half an hour. Oh, yeah.
I mean, best case scenario, they get it fixed and they're back on the road. But yeah, I don't know what the average drops for every minute they're stationary. But for every minute they're stationary, they have to go 180 miles an hour to match 90, which obviously isn't going to happen. Put the car in a flatbed and fly home. That's what I'd do.
We had made it halfway across the country in 15 hours. And just like that, the drive was over. The car was dead, and so were our hopes of proving 32 hours and 7 minutes.
I'm really sorry, guys. Alex must be devastated.
For the last 2 months, this effort has defined who I am, and I have friends who say I'm an idiot. That it makes no sense. It doesn't matter, and that's fine. But I now am burdened with this idea that this 32:07 time can be broken, and I came really close. Monday morning, I had the car taken on a flatbed to BMW, Oklahoma. I got on a plane in Oklahoma City. As the plane was taking off, I got a phone call from BMW. Apparently, an Oklahoma State official overheard me saying 160 miles per hour, rear lights out, night vision, world record. Based on those remarks, he called the Oklahoma State Police, who opened an investigation. They're holding the car and preventing me from taking it back home.
This is so cool.
Unfortunately, the vehicle has inside a number of items which may be suggestive, if not incriminating, of what we were doing.
Wow.
Are they going on the back?
Yeah.
Check out the brakes. Oh man, that is awesome.
I've been on pins and needles for 36 hours, fearing the worst. It is absolutely the most complicated, difficult, terrifying, and expensive proposition. I grapple myself with exactly why I'm doing it, and I would say to anyone else who's trying that you have to be a little crazy.
We had not one, but 2 transmission failures.
Another goal was to finish it, because that wasn't easy. I mean, a lot of cars didn't finish.
It's the male ego. It's built into it, You gotta win. But sometimes we don't.
The Oklahoma State Police never found any evidence of what we were doing that day. And the car was released to Alex within 72 hours. But John decided that he wouldn't go again. And Alex and I were starting to wonder whether any of this was really worth it.
I think that if our car had broken down 6 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours into it, and in 1984 it was going to happen again, I think I would have gone again, because we never completed it. We never did it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think because.
Yeah, you'd have to give it. You couldn't.
You have
to give it another shot.
You have to finish it.
It was a once in a lifetime. We didn't know if it would ever happen again, if we'd ever have the opportunity again.
Right.
If we didn't do it, or I didn't do it and let him down, I would have regretted that for the rest of my life. I really would have.
Tremendous amount of luck has to play into that 32 hours. Tremendous amount of luck. Just the fact that it's been around for 20 years and nobody's broken it or claimed to have broken it tells you a lot right there. I don't think anybody's going to break it.
I-44 west, north 3822, west 9025. Repeat. Okay, 9025, thanks. This is 3834, 9021. Cowbell ground, Cowbell air. Cowbell ground, Cowbell air. Somebody's moving quick there. They're right off the wing. Yeah, I think we got him. Oh yeah, we got him. I repeat, we have a visual. That's them, no doubt. All right, we got him in sight. No problem. Man, he's moving.
You can stop a person from doing something, but you can't stop an idea. Now I kind of have to do it. And if we don't do it now, I don't think it's likely I will try again.
We were all very aware that this was our last shot. So the intensity level in the car was much higher the second time around. But there was nowhere else in the world that I would have rather been at that moment than in the backseat of that car.
There they are.
Cowbell Air, this is Cowbell Ground. We have you in sight.
Breakers down. Breakers out. God, he's flying. He is fucking flying, dude. All clear, all clear, all clear. All clear. Put that hammer down, boy.
Put the hammer down. You're all clear.
What are they feeling right now, John? Absolute euphoria.
The failed attempt was really disheartening for me personally. It was tough because it was the car, not Alex, and we were responsible for the car. When we found out what it was just upsetting because it was overlooked by ourselves and every other expert that we conferred with prior to him leaving on that race.
It hadn't occurred to us to replace the fuel pump and filter. Apparently the fuel pump was sufficiently clogged after several gumballs and trips around the world. So now we have new fuel pump filter. My gut tells me that the car is probably perfect, and now it's my faith and confidence which is wavering. I have a new co-driver because John decided he didn't want to go. John did it out of a sense of adventure and friendship, and I think that buys you pretty much 1 or 2 drives. And after the last drive, I think John just decided, and it's quite fair, that he didn't need to go again for himself. I wouldn't want to drive with anyone, especially a friend, who deep down inside didn't absolutely have to go. I have to. And John doesn't have to. Maher, he wants to go. And the instant I even hinted at what we were doing, you can see it in his face.
I work for Bank of America Securities on their equity trading floor. I think that's all I'm going to say about what I do right now.
Pardon?
Can you tell me how you feel about what you do?
No, I don't really want to tell you how I feel about what I do. You know, right now this is a job for me. It's helping me support some of my automotive interests. But I think if I could, I don't know. I'm not going to continue that thought. I loved it that he called on me to do the final run. I knew he had other options. The fact that he called on me was, you know, he told me, he's like, I want you to think about it for a night. It didn't take me to get from when he asked me to his front door before I said yes.
Graber's Storm Chaser suggestion has proven to be very wise as we're passing through in storm season, and I've researched with JF Storm Chaser cars. We are amazingly equipped identical to Storm Chaser cars, identically. So I've procured some amateur Storm Chaser Club stickers, hats, throw pillows for Corey.
Throw pillows.
And Myra and I believe we should not have to lie, so I've labeled all the GPS units Storm 1, Skywarn 2, Airspeed 3, and so if we're pulled over, I don't think we need to actually say anything. I think they'll just look inside, and I think one of us should say, "Can you believe that storm front?" And then look, and then think, no, I'm not joking. I really feel strongly about it.
Morning. Cowbell ground, Cowbell ground, Cowbell in.
Where the fuck is the radio?
Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try another radio.
Cabell Air, this is Cabell Grounds. You copy, over.
What antenna did you have last night?
We had a small handheld antenna. I bet you that's him right up there. Hang on a second. Nope. Nope. It's neither of these. 3 cars ahead. White car. Undercover. Yo. John. Yeah, we're right behind an undercover cop. 2 cars ahead. All right, so listen, here's the situation, okay? We want to switch to the, like, 4-foot aerial.
Right now is a great time to do it.
But we have to pull over to switch it.
Okay, so why don't you do that and then try again to contact us on the radio, and we'll circle around.
Correct. Okay, bye.
He's pulling off. I'm not pulling off after him.
No, man. That was like the world's most obvious undercover police car of all time.
Is he getting right back on?
Yeah, I think he is. Sit tight.
Good job.
I suspected he would do that.
I knew he would.
Smart guy.
He's coming right out behind us now.
I love it.
He's gonna pull us over.
What's he gonna pull us over for? Can I smoke a cigarette now?
No, definitely not.
What? This is like the perfect time. It shows we're not nervous or anything.
You're gonna be wrong.
I love it. If you get out, that might seem suspicious. What do you want to do?
Should I pull over?
No.
What?
Like, why would you pull over unless he flashes you?
At the rest stops. Not just pull over, but at the rest stop.
Change antennas?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? We haven't done anything wrong.
I'm not gonna do anything with. We're not gonna get anywhere with him following us.
I agree.
I'm pulling off.
Sure, do it.
Go. I don't think this antenna's gonna do a lick of fucking difference. That's just my dumb.
Okay, whoa. Cabell Air, this is Cabell Ground. Do you read? Over.
Don't tell me that fucking antenna doesn't work.
We think it may be operator error down there, but we can't be sure. Either way, we're transmitting them traffic reports, updates, anything we see. You got a small knot of traffic 1 mile up, but otherwise straight and clear.
You died right at the toll, right?
Right out of the toll.
Here's the toll.
What was that? The brakes?
I don't know. What do you think? Any special
All the way to
light?
the right. All the way to the right.
How do? Thank you.
Oh, come on.
I thought there was
We're
more.
storm chasers. We're here to save your lives.
Holy shit.
What?
Their overall average speed, 93.6.
If we keep this up, we might have time for a stop in Vegas.
Maybe we can buy a joke book while we're there. Oh, Dave. I like that move on Gumball. I don't like it here.
Paul liked it.
Of course he likes it. He wishes he was doing it. He wishes he was in the car.
Is he keeping up with me?
Pretty much.
I'm going 125 knots and you're outrunning me here.
Really don't like those in Oklahoma, Dave. Seriously. One call from one of those guys could
I know,
fuck us completely.
He hit the accelerator
I
too
understand.
hard, you know.
But listen, it's not worth 45 seconds to fuck a whole drive because one of those guys has a problem with us. You know
It's
what
the
happened
truck
last
of the
time.
series, I understand.
Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Oh, cop.
79. That's right across from Bixby Story.
That was definitely a cop.
Had two people in a car.
Yeah,
right?
but hit all. That was definitely a cop. I say you should sit steady unless you want to risk this guy.
He got on going the wrong way.
None of my alarm bells have ever gone off when I put a question to him about what he would do in a given situation. In fact, Maher is probably more rational and calm than I am.
3207 is here at 88.9 average.
Okay, I know this average,
Right.
but you had like a breakdown, I think, on there from the GPS,
Oh,
like
no,
the
it's-
speeds you were doing.
Oh, you want, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm looking for like extended periods where you're.
There weren't many extended periods like that. It would be like, it's very rare to run above 100 for more than a minute or two. Unless there's a big open stretch in Texas, for example.
I plan on changing that.
The key is, dude, stealth. Stealth is the key. And, you know,
I have to laugh because you're not stealthy when you go by anybody at a.
yeah, I know.
Whether
but
it's 105
wait a second,
or
wait a second.
145.
It's whether someone chooses to call or not call. Oh, some asshole came by in a blue car versus I'm calling the police about this asshole.
Right.
All right? And that's the difference between us, you
I
know,
understand.
getting
You're
a phone
totally-
call
you're
6 months
totally
from now.
right. No, you're totally right.
Having a warrant for our arrest in Oklahoma.
Shut up.
Put the foot down, guys. We're looking out for you. Let's go to Texas.
Oh my god.
Well, there we go.
See, you just gotta do it sometimes. You have no choice, man. I'm telling you. You gotta.
I reported a blue BMW speeding, leaving an traffic and driving recklessly. RP advised unable to keep up or get tagged. 12:39 hours less.
116, we're over east.
Shit. What do we do? 116, that's the guy. Where is he? He's right ahead. That's him right there. Does he see us?
We'll hear in a second.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's braking. He's turning around.
Is he really?
Yeah.
For sure?
Should we get out? Yeah, he's crossing over the median. All right. We have to get out of this exit and hide.
I don't know if we're gonna have a lot of room to hide out here. There's not many hiding places.
Yeah? Oh my god, my heart is about to fucking fall out.
It's only hearsay. You know, he didn't catch you doing it. He'll follow you for a little bit. I don't think he can pull you over.
What is that?
I don't know. Should we hide anything or?
Where do I get out right here? What do I smoke?
Well, there's nowhere to go. I mean,
check them out. Get off, let him pass. What do you think? Right now.
Go.
Brake lights off. Who's waving? Eyes open.
Careful, careful. Stop sign. Stop sign.
Take a good look. You see him pass?
Go this way. Go this way. Wait.
You see him?
I can't see if he's coming.
Semi just stopped by and said that blue BMW is on up ahead of him. If he can swap over, you still at 111?
All right, so
he thinks we're still going.
Well, I cut the median here to 115. I thought I had time, but
here
there's a dark blue BMW.
I'm gonna get out and
dark
piss.
tinted windows. Looks like it had some antennas on it.
I'm gonna get out and piss right here.
It was eastbound. That might be it. It's already ahead of me.
I'm gonna confess
Here,
that I'm
shut
pissing.
things off.
Turn everything off, yeah. Turn everything off, all power.
All power.
I'm trying to feel peaceful, but it's the surface that is peaceful, not the inside. I worry like crazy. That's really what it all is about. Very difficult. I believe in fate. Something is meant to be, it'll be fine. You'll be protected. If it's not meant to be, then something will happen. It will stop it right in the middle of tracks. But whether you scream or not, once children do whatever they need to do. I probably won't be sleeping much, but that's okay. This goes with the territory. I won't sleep until I get a phone call. That's how I feel.
Johnny, any update on that coordinate?
I keep asking for him. I'm trying, man.
The hell else can they be doing? We need updates, man. They should be in that stretch of road, definitely. Now, send us another.
That's not the police car, it's the Geek Squad.
All right, back on the road.
Scanner back on. Just look at how old they have. Stretch the roads are.
I gotta keep going around.
There's no place to hide.
What's that?
An SUV cop sitting in the median, taking pictures.
Yeah,
Something else pulling over.
Another cop? Two bogeys at 9811.
I wonder if they're looking for them.
They're talking to each other.
Yeah, they are. All right, see where the guys are.
Ground, we need an update. We need an update now, please.
How far to the Oklahoma border with Texas? Wait, was that a police vehicle in Center Median?
Yes, it is. There he is.
Is that them?
Yeah, that's them. I've learned this through many gumballs. Oh, there he is. Is he gonna see us? There's two of them.
Yes!
He's passed.
Can he get away?
I think you can. He's still trying to let his ring piece go loose again.
Thank you, big cover.
Dave? If you want to switch again so you could burn out of this state, fine.
Otherwise, I'm gonna hold it in like the mid 80s or high like 90ish, and then blast through Texas, because you know they're onto us, and there's only one road out of this state.
If you get stopped by the gendarmes, your immediate feeling is to go 55 miles an hour. Wrong. Now you got to go even faster, and that's the hairy part for people, is to be able to say to yourself, I now need to go even faster than I was going before.
What border is this, John? This is the Oklahoma-Texas border.
Looking really good for another mile or two.
This just looks like a wall of clouds that's ahead of us. I mean,
That is what we're going into.
it says small thunderstorms starting to form.
Hey guys, we're punching out, going to get fuel. We'll regroup, we'll call you from the ground.
We might not see him again with this storm. Those guys are right in the plane.
I'm getting a double Whopper with cheese.
I want that tender grilled chicken sandwich.
Oh, Angus meal?
I had a very, very hard time in Amarillo. First, I had a whole entire Sprite that I spilled on myself in the car. Then they forgot to put my food in there, even though we haven't eaten in 10 hours. And then, thankfully, I noticed that my wallet had come out of my pocket and was in the car that we just borrowed. So I have my wallet. I changed my pants. And you know what I have to say to Amarillo? Hey, douche.
Sorry, 6,000 feet?
A few minutes ago, I got a text from Alex that the rain had started. And I don't know if it's Alex or Dave driving, but Alex is he's a great rain driver. He's a great all-weather driver, but he's a really good, strong rain driver. I hope it's him in the seat.
Can't see shit.
Ramp check on the right.
You're clear. Not cops so much we have to worry about at this point, it's control and speed.
Wind and rain can cut through you real quick, you know, bring your fatigue down. But that's part of the rally. That's part of the accomplishment, the endurance, making it, you know.
George doing this in time sub 44 hours. You can't even put a scale on it to people being in an enclosed vehicle with all the comforts that come there compared to being with nature, as George did.
It was just a challenge. It was there, but it's the endurance of getting 1,000 miles from one place to another and being able to handle the elements of the cold. And that was what most of my racing and stuff was about.
You smell good, Corey. How do you smell so good when I smell so bad?
I doubt I do.
No, you do.
Being in an enclosed vehicle is much easier than doing this on a motorcycle. However, being in an enclosed vehicle with two guys for a day and a half, also quite challenging.
I smell like a big sweaty armpit.
I smell worse. I smell like beef jerky, fire, and ass. I'm sorry.
You forgot gasoline. You're funneling down to one lane again. God damn it! Holy cow, this goes on forever.
You don't have to do 35 miles an hour just because there's one lane. I don't get it.
Dude! We're down to 90.8 on my GPS.
That's not accurate. We're down to 91.3.
That's not fast enough. Turn on the flashers and drop the hammer.
If it was any other country, I would.
Oh, wake me up when we get there. Yeah. 22 miles an hour.
This is so fucking brutal. I can't stand it.
The to play cards or something?
Breaker 19, this is Big D and the Eagle.
9004, we're gonna get down under 90 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
A dead stop for no reason. We need anything out of the trunk? This is killing it. This is gonna kill it.
You know something? I'm convinced that we'll be fine. I'm convinced of it.
I'm not.
What do you want me to tell these fucking guys?
Tell them to sit tight. We're on our way.
Copy that.
Is it open?
Wide open. Give her the cigarette. Let's go. All right. Put the pedal down. And don't lift up until I say. Watch this guy's got his blinker on.
We okay?
Yeah.
So he doesn't call us in.
That guy's going very fast.
Looks, I'm still thinking. Looks like them. Woohoo! Ground. We are directly overhead, kid. We got you in sight. Trucks up on the right, all clear, getting.
Feels good to have him back.
It does.
All right, drivers. I see blue sky going west.
There is certain things a person just has to do with their life. I just had to go across this beautiful country as fast as possible, as safely as possible. And to have a chance to see it all inside of 30-something hours is quite an achievement.
Ramp's clear, but watch this truck. Nice move.
There was a certain thrill that we were going coast to coast in about as many hours as it took the pioneers in weeks to go across country. And as opposed to flying in a jet at 39,000 feet, we smelled every acre of America.
Clear till tomorrow.
Americans always have been very competitive people. It's part of our nature. From the frontier ethic, the settling of this country, it was always going and going and going and being ahead of the other person.
It's a spirit of adventure that maybe our country doesn't have, and we need to kind of get back again.
Wow, these guys are really in the home stretch here.
They really are.
You guys are hauling ass. Doing great. We love it up here. All right, guys, this is it for us. We'll see you on the other side. We're headed out to the north. Good luck up this hill. Wish you the best.
When you hit nighttime, it sort of signifies that you only have a little bit left to go. You know, you're the closest you've ever been, and just one more push and you'll be there.
But we still had over 7 hours to go, and now we didn't have a plane.
How fast are we going, Alex? 122 miles an hour. 124. 130. 142. He wants to pass 150, but he's gonna have to wait.
Hey, Conley, coming down on your right side.
Oh, cup. It's all right. Is brake lights on when?
Now.
Oh boy.
He's facing the other way. Thank God.
How good am I?
That was a great call. Love him for that.
Brake lights off?
Brake lights off.
Voila. Arizona.
He couldn't possibly think somebody would be doing 126 miles an hour in bad weather. He says, why were you going so fast? I say, off street, you'd never believe me if I told you.
I kind of have this mental feeling at this point where I have now totally contradicted myself, everything I've ever said to Corey before about this. In every prior drive, I sat here and fucking updated the goddamn chart every 5 minutes. And I would rather just drive there as fast as we fucking can and just figure it out when we get there.
That's my method.
What?
Just no outside cars.
What the fuck is this?
It's a 35 mile an hour construction zone.
Holy fuck, Arizona, New Mexico, I will never come back. No! Trying so hard. It's like some Twilight Zone episode about people who want to race cross country.
At least do the posted speed limit, at least. And then 10. I don't think you can possibly do this with all this one lane stuff. I don't think it can be done.
I think it can be done. I think we'll do it.
Ready to scream. We're just totally fucked. 150 miles of 60 miles an hour is going to destroy us.
It's bad.
Most of the time you never knew where anybody was or how you were doing, and you couldn't give up because you might be winning, even though you thought that, you weren't.
We are by nature a competitive species, and we tend to get better by competing against as close to our peers as we can, and then raising the bar.
You know what? I don't want failure to be an option.
No.
I want to fucking break this record. And going into it, I thought it was a no-brainer. Getting in under 32, I thought was extremely achievable.
It is, but certain things have to fall into place, beyond things that are beyond our control.
Going fast for the first 1,000, 1,500 miles, that wasn't difficult. The second leg of the trip was where fatigue would set in.
I've run a marathon, and it's all called hitting the wall. Just mentally, just like, God, can't this be over?
We gotta find this gas station thing, because not only am I having visual hallucinations, but they've become auditory now too.
It's a hard part of the drive when you've been driving this long, because you've driven a lot.
You had the most frustrating parts of it for sure. Here it is, Chevron. It's very close. Perfect.
My gas card. There you go. Someone do thermals.
20 gallons, your share. Get ready to show you're doing good.
I'm sure it's fine. Let's
19
go.
gallons?
Let's go.
Alex, we really gotta hustle. If you did 100 miles an hour the rest of the way in, I mean, even more gas, dude. I mean,
You told me we're not going to break it.
I'm telling you, it's very possible we may not.
To sustain that mental focus was the only word I've ever come up with to describe it was grueling.
But your adrenaline pumps and your mind expands to accept all that because you will it to.
Put your foot in it. Looking good, all down, let's go. More gas pedal.
Fifth in the Ferrari 308, Don Guattari and Rick Doherty.
It wasn't for any accolade or reward. Just doing it was the reward.
It was different for me because I knew it would be the last time I'd be organizing the race. I really had hoped that there'd be others picking up the gauntlet.
Pass them over the double yellow?
Absolutely.
Set on the right side. Cap?
Cap. But in M mode, this car is really good.
All the way to the finish line from when we hit the California border, we were flying and looking behind us because, you know, maybe we'll catch somebody in the process and move up a place. But here's this almost 3,000 mile race, and it turns out to be a sprint for the last 200-300 miles.
Right.
It's pretty awesome.
Fourth position, beating out their competition by only 6 minutes. The Trans Am of C.R. Lee and R. Sullivan.
All clear down the median. Thermals and binoculars.
Third place, 34 hours, 16 minutes. Porsche 911 SC, which had the most spectacular entrance that I've ever seen with 4 police cars behind it. Rodney Shea and Brillo.
They wanted to know if we had any drugs or guns in the car that they couldn't look at. I told them, yeah, we got some Afrin and some No-Dos.
That's a great intercept. Little Ferrari, Medina, yeah. He's not as crazy as you though.
Okay, for second, 33 hours, 53 minutes. Porsche 928.
It's just unimaginable how fast we were going. I mean, I thought the engine was going to blow up.
Really sorry that George Egloff didn't get here to be with us tonight. I know he was really trying. We heard he threw a quarter at a gas station attendant and said, "Call my wife, I'm still on my way."
What's only left side?
Windows down?
Careful, careful, careful.
Left of the light. Cut.
Police car.
Oh.
For me, those last few miles were, wow, this is it. We're down to 2 minutes. We're down to a minute. We're here.
Green lights.
Police car, police car.
Don't worry about it. Green light.
I pass it?
Yep, yep.
No.
Cool.
Police down there?
Don't.
Do it.
You gotta do it.
Do it. Stop.
Cops right there.
Go and check. You're gonna go left. You went out.
I remember coming down in first gear at about 8,000 RPM all the way to the finish line, and then before the car was even stopped, you had the door open and you were racing towards the time clock to punch our car.
So wait, what time do we get?
So 6:30.
You're asking 32 was 32 or 6. So what do you got?
4:31.
Hi, Mom. I'm fine. We're in LA. We're safe. And we broke it by like an hour and 2 minutes, right? I couldn't smell any worse anyway. He wanted to put the police lights on to get through traffic. Oh, you can't do that. We were trying so hard. You blew the shit out of 3207. I'll wait to see the proof before I believe a word of it.
Check out, this is check-in.
One small ticket. Only one? Yeah. You tricked me. You're like, we're not going to make it.
We had broken the record by over an hour. 31 hours and 4 minutes shattered the old record and any suspicions that Doug had cheated. It took going across the country and breaking this record for me to realize that this is something you do for yourself, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
I think this might be the most important thing I've done in my life.
Oh, you got a ways to go, but it's
Well,
pretty,
maybe.
it's right up there.
I think it might be.
And then they'll be looking for you the rest of your life.
I know.
After we broke the record, we waited a year for the statute of limitations to run out before going public. But during that time, we heard that someone else had broken 32 hours and 7 minutes.
I did have some conversations with Alex Roy. There were some bets about whether it could be done under 30 hours, and it could be done. Now, as far as what the bet was, we were all having a good time and partying in New York, and we broke the record, so he hasn't called me to say that I owe him money, so I'm pretty sure that he owes me.
He hasn't done it yet, but I'm confident he will. He's going to have a tattoo in his arm. We did it, and nobody can take that away from us.
This is my 15 minutes of fame. That's all I get.
It's my one.
Are you calling him?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'm calling him.
What's going on?
Give me the time.
What?
What's your time?
31 hours and 4 minutes.
What date did he do it? After us or before us?
Before you.
Impossible. Do you think you're going to have any problems with proving your record?
Oh, no, not at all.
You know I'm going to come up with all kinds of things to try to razz you.
I'm not.
You know I really don't care, and I'm just giving you a hard time. Well, actually, I do care, because now I got to beat 3104.
is he?
Come on over, George.
That'll stop that story any day.
Oh, we'll get back to yours. He just, I don't.
Hey, welcome in, George.
George and helmet.
I had to go way south.
One ticket in Arizona?
Yeah. Oh, I got stopped also for doing 82, but I talked my way out of it.
What did you tell him?
That, my headlight was falling out and I had it tied to a bungee cord and I wanted to try to make it to a shop by nightfall.